Alejandro Roces.
Alejandro Reyes Roces was one of the Philippines' most celebrated writers, known for preserving Filipino culture through literature. His stories capture the country's traditions, values, and everyday life, making him a respected voice in the Philippine literature. Through his remarkable works and dedication to promoting Filipino identity, Roces earned the nation's highest recognition for writers. This biography explores his life from his early years and literary journey to his contributions to public service and the lasting legacy he left on the Philippines literature.
Alejandro Reyes Roces was born on July 13, 1924 in Manila, Philippines. He came from a family that valued education, culture, and public service, which helped shape his character and interests from an early age. Growing up in an environment where ideas and learning were encouraged gave him a strong appreciation for Filipino traditions and history.
He later studied at the University of Arizona in the United States, where he earned a degree in fine arts. Living abroad broadened his perspective, but it also strengthened his appreciation for his Filipino roots. Inspired by his love for storytelling, he began writing stories that reflected Filipino life, humor, and values. Experiences that would shape his future as one of the most country's admired writers.
Alejandro Roces discovered that writing was more than a creative pursuit. It was a way to preserve culture and share the Filipino experience. Drawing inspiration from everyday life, he began writing short stories that highlighted the tradition, humor, and values of ordinary Filipinos. His simple yet meaningful storytelling quickly gained recognition. By combining relatable characters with thoughtful messages, Roces established a writing style that celebrated Filipino identity and laid the foundation for his successful literary career.
Throughout his career, Alejandro Roces became known for his outstanding short stories and essays that celebrated Filipino life. Among his best-known works are We Filipinos Are Mild Drinkers, My Brother's Peculiar Chicken, Something to Crow About, and Of Cocks and Kites. These works remain some of the most recognized pieces in Philippine literature. One of Roces' greatest strengths was his use of humor and satire. Rather than simply entertaining readers, his stories encouraged them to reflect on family, traditions, and society. Through engaging storytelling, he promoted a deeper appreciation of Filipino culture and inspired readers to value their heritage.
His commitment to preserving the nation's heritage extended beyond government service. Roces supported cultural initiatives and became one of the strongest advocates for the return of the historic Balangiga bells to the Philippines. His efforts reflected his lifelong belief that preserving history and culture was essential to strengthen national identity.
Alejandro Roces received numerous awards throughout his career, but his greatest recognition came in 2003 when he was proclaimed National Artist for Literature. This prestigious honor acknowledged both his excellence as a writer and his lifelong dedication to promoting Filipino culture through literature. Beyond his literary accomplishments, Roces was admired as a cultural advocate whose works inspired generations of Filipinos. His stories and essays continues to encourage readers to appreciate their history, traditions, and national identity.
The influence of Alejandro Roces continue to be felt today. His stories remain part of Philippine literature because they capture the humor, values, and experiences that define Filipino life. Even decades after they were written, they continue to inspire readers to appreciate their culture and heritage. Roces also influenced future generations by writers by proving that literature can both entertain and educate. His works continue to remind Filipinos that stories have the power to preserve history, strengthen identity, and connect people across generations.
Alejandro Reyes Roces was more than an accomplished writer. He was a passionate advocate for Filipino culture and identity. Through his literature, public service, and cultural advocacy, he left a lasting impact that continues to inspire Filipinos today. His legacy lives on in every reader who discovers his stories and in every writer inspired to celebrate the Filipino spirit through literature. Alejandro Roces' life reminds us that preserving culture begins with telling the stories that future generations will continue to remember.